Howdy everyone, I bring to you Russian Esipenko white, Magnus Carlsen black, the BLITZ section. Yes, they've gone to tie breaks. It was draw, lots of draws until we finally are going into the BLITZ, which is a 5 minute game, 3 second 3 second increments. And so here we go. It was nail biting type of very tense. Magnus is like a poker player. He can hide things very well. Esipenko is younger, lots of potential, but you can see he was nervous. His leg was going up and down, up and down, and the nervousness had to come out somehow. They had these two women staring in them too. I mean, the people that supposedly, I guess marked down the uh the moves. They have this little score sheet or something. Uh, well, they were just sitting, two of them, two women, just like a couple feet away from the players. I don't know if I would like that. Maybe if I was Bobby Fischer, I'd say put them farther away or something. Plus, they're women, and maybe they're really cute young women. That's a distraction. You got limited variables over there. But anyway, that's my theory. So a lot of pressure on both sides. And when it was all over, Magnus had this reaction of just elation and put his head back, and that's the only time you really saw emotion coming out of him afterwards. He was able to keep it all in during the game. Focused, a lot of focus. Esipenko too, a lot of focus. But he would look at him like though he's looking at some god. Seriously, he would like sneak this looks at Magnus that like he's playing the champion or something. That's imposing. That's a lot of psychological stuff going on here. Do not tell me that chess is not an Olympic sport. It is an Olympic sport, and it should be in the Olympics. Just more stuff for the organizers to do. Anyway, so let's continue with this e4, e5, knight to f3, knight c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, c3, knight f6. Look at those two knights. Magnus is already with his knights out. Let's just focus on what we see here. Interesting. It's again the Duke Piano game. I'm just wanting to see what's going on, where are the weak squares, where is the balance or imbalance. So just take a look at this. The king's sides are open, very symmetrical looking, I would say. Except for the white squares are open by the king, and for the black squares are open on the king. So, in those times like these, what is important? Knights or bishops? We shall see how this game continues. D3, D6, castles, H6, H6. So that's controlling the G5 square so that the knight cannot just jump into it, right? Okay. So you always want to be ahead of step of your opponent's ideas. If you're not a step ahead, they will gain tempo. Little increments mean a lot, just like compound interest over time. It adds up. So let's see. Let's continue. Rook to e1. Ooh, we are looking at the e file. He probably should castle soon. Black should, and he does. H3 also. Huh. So if you're not gonna let my knight, I'm not gonna let your knight on the G4 square. A6, A4. What is this, a copycat? We're doing just copycat moves? I don't understand. Supposedly Magnus has an IQ of 190. That's pretty high, wouldn't you say? That much can get past him. A7, knight to D2. All right. We are now really that bishop on A7 is nicely placed, right? All he needs is somehow get the queen out, more firepower, but that knight and that pawn are in the way. So, The structure is not helping him here. Rook to e8, b4, bishop to e6. All right, we have exchange of bishops. The light square bishops. Queen to c2, queen to d8. Excuse me, queen to d7. Apologize, from queen to d7. From moving from d8. Knight to f1. Looks like he's reorganizing. d5, putting more pressure on the center. Bishop to e3. Wow. It's like, I want to get rid of that bishop. Is he going to do that, or is he going to not do this? Takes. Wow. Gone is that violent bishop. I don't know if I would have done that, but Magnus Carlsen isn't black, and there goes his black bishop. But still, it looks like he was able to convert this game. Knight to e7. Rook to b1. That's probably going to be an open file, because all we have are the two pawns there. Rook to d8. Looks like the action on Magnus' parts is want to be on the d file. a5. That's as far as we can go with that a pawn for now. Knight to g6. c4. This gets a little complicated. Remember, this is a 5-minute game. This is blitz. This is just almost action reaction. c6. Interesting there. The pawns are like a little pawn circle, kind of oval circle, kind of facing towards the left. Rook to d1. Knight to f4. Knight to f5. Like the 5th rank for knights is pretty good usually. Let's see what happens next. He's trying to kick that knight out. He's now getting out with a check. King just moves out of the way, attacking the knight. The knight moves back. Knight is taken. Take. Moving out with the rook to e8. Ah, that's why there's a isolated pawn in this way. So now he's protecting the pawn with his knight to h2. But don't you feel it's a little reactionary? Whatever black does, I'm the boss, and then you have to react. h8 on the attack. f3. I don't know. This is not looking good for white at this point. There was a critical moment here, and I think that moment has passed. I think they're tired. You can tell all these games now. I think this 5th, 6th in a row. It's just extremely tiring. You have to be in good physical stamina position. Are you Olympic people on that committee listening to this video by any chance? That needs physical stamina to continue playing games like this, and mental stamina. We take on e4, queen to e7, rook to d8, takes, moves up. Esipenko's a little slow in his attack. He doesn't have much of an attack left here. The queen to d4 with a check. You see who is in command here? Black is in command, doing the aggressive moves. d3. There's not much counter attack here. Queen to e2. Queen to c4. Takes on c4. Rook on d1. rook to d8, rook to f1. Let's look at this position. And something like this, put it in your engine, not the engine, put it on the board, play against somebody. Somebody be black, you be white, or you be black, or the other person be white, and just keep repeating. See what you would have done in an endgame. Just practice your endgames. This is a good time to pick up a super GM like this or a world chess master and see what you would have done. Queen to b4, f4. E takes, the pawn on E takes the pawn on f4. Then the pawn takes the f4, so there's f4 movement here. Queen takes on a5. Okay, it's like I'm hungry, pawn eating time. Let's see, we have 5 black pawns. Oh my gosh, to 3 pawns for white. Unbelievable. G5, knight to c5, queen to b2, check, king to g8, knight to g4, knight takes on e4. Now we're down to 2 pawns. Knight to h6 check. It just moves out of the way. It's like there's no counter. Like you gotta do more with just the knight. Maybe just to do some sort of last minute attacking here, but without follow up. There's nothing there. Just a check. All right, we continue, try to fight, squeeze something out of this. Queen to h2. Rook to d2, attacking the queen. Queen to h4. King to g7. Pawn to f5, attacking that other pawn. Now is he gonna just pick up that knight? We'll just see what will happen. The queen goes to d5 to protect it. Then we're just going to f6 check. So takes with the knight. And that's over. Resignation by Esipenko. We've got just 1 pawn to Magnus's 5 pawns. Total domination. Total domination. That's for experience, and that's how a world champion remains a world champion, by being able to be on point in games like this under extreme pressure. He does not crack. And so he has very good people that probably take care of his physical stamina. All you Olympic Committee people, in order to continue at this high level of chess play. Thank you so much, you all. Please hit like and subscribe. Au revoir.